NASA Emergency Advisory, Plutonian Mass Expansion Event. This is an emergency communication from NASA Deep Space Observatory Network. Station Alpha 7 classification level for clearance required for access to the following information. Emergency communication protocol is now active. On July 18, 2025, during routine planetary monitoring sequence, we detected anomalous readings from our Plutonian observation array. Initial mass calculations showed consistent variance from established parameters. The planetary diameter, previously catalogued at 2,374 kilometers, now measured 2,378.3 kilometers. Our initial assessment suspected equipment malfunction. Recalibration was completed immediately. The variance persisted. Within the first 72-hour observation window, we documented an expansion rate of 4.3 kilometers. The growth pattern appeared uniform, maintaining spherical expansion across all measurement vectors. We immediately requested secondary confirmation from Observatory Network Station Beta-12. Secondary measurements confirmed our findings. Updated parameters showed current diameter at 2,381.7 kilometers, with expansion acceleration detected. The new growth rate calculated at 1.2 kilometers per 24-hour cycle. The dwarf planet Pluto was experiencing unprecedented volumetric expansion. Atmospheric analysis revealed no detectable atmospheric changes. Surface composition remained consistent with baseline readings. Gravitational field intensity increased proportionally with mass expansion, yet no thermal anomalies were detected across the planetary surface. We escalated to Emergency Advisory Protocol Level 2. After 72 hours of continuous observation, the Plutonian expansion continued at an accelerated rate. Growth pattern defied all known planetary physics models. Progression data showed diameter measurements increasing from baseline 2,374 kilometers to 2,387.9 kilometers within 3 days. The expansion rate analysis indicated exponential acceleration, with mathematical projections suggesting continued acceleration, unless unknown variables intervened. Structural integrity assessment revealed no signs of surface fracturing or deformation. The expansion appeared to occur at molecular level, with matter density remaining constant. This suggested matter generation rather than expansion of existing material. Gravitational impact assessment showed minimal effect on Charon's orbital pattern, though long-range gravitational influences on Kuiper belt objects required continuous monitoring. By day 4, the situation escalated beyond theoretical parameters. Current measurements showed diameter at 2,309.2 kilometers, with daily expansion rate reaching 6.3 kilometers. Acceleration factor calculated at 1.47 times. Increase every 24 hours. We began documenting unexplained phenomena. Surface reflectivity increased without atmospheric change. Radio emissions were detected at previously silent frequencies. Deep space telescopes reported visual distortions when observing Plutonian vicinity. The Scientific Advisory Committee recommended immediate deployment of specialized monitoring satellites, activation of deep space emergency protocols, International Space Agency notification sequence, and preparation of public information contingency plans. The expansion showed no signs of deceleration. By day 7, current Plutonian dimensions measured 2,421.8 kilometers diameter, representing 47.8 kilometers of total weekly growth. The expansion maintained exponential acceleration curve. New anomalous behaviors emerged. Electromagnetic pulses emanated from the planetary core. Temperature variations across the surface followed no recognizable pattern. Spectroscopic analysis revealed molecular signatures not present in baseline readings. Psychological impact assessment of observatory personnel revealed concerning developments. Several deep space monitoring technicians reported persistent unease when conducting Plutonian observations. Subjects described sensation of being observed in return. Recommendation protocols required rotating observation teams every 48 hours. Media blackout remained in effect, with prepared cover story describing routine calibration of deep space measurement. Equipment causing temporary data inconsistencies. Day 12 required emergency escalation to code yellow status. Pluto's diameter measured 2,473.6 kilometers. The dwarf planet had grown nearly 100 kilometers in 12 days. Long-range visual confirmation revealed structural changes. The planetary surface appeared to shift continuously, not expanding outward as initially calculated, but reconstituting itself in perpetual motion. Deep Space Technician Morrison reported through official channels, "It's like watching something breathe. The surface rises and falls in pattern. Equipment says it's growing uniformly, but through the telescope it looks alive." Immediate protocol changes required all observations to have dual operator confirmation, mandatory psychological evaluation for observation personnel, and activation of emergency backup measurement systems. A concerning development emerged when 3 separate observatory stations reported identical dreams among night shift personnel. Subjects described sensation of falling toward an impossibly large celestial body. Medical evaluation showed no physiological abnormalities. By day 18, current diameter measured 2,547.3 kilometers. Pluto had increased in size by more than 7% in 18 days. Gravitational anomaly reports showed Charon's orbit demonstrating measurable deviation, with the Moon's trajectory slowly spiraling outward as Pluto's gravitational influence expanded. Deep space impact analysis revealed several Kuiper belt objects demonstrating altered trajectory. Computer models suggested these changes began occurring before our initial detection of Plutonian expansion. The implication indicated the phenomenon had been active for weeks or months prior to observation. Personnel status updates proved concerning. Observer rotation protocol was insufficient. Personnel reported persistent auditory disturbances during off-duty hours, describing sounds resembling distant machinery or massive breathing. No audio equipment detected these sounds. International response confirmed European Space Agency independent detection, Chinese National Space Administration similar observations, while Russian Space Agency data remained classified. Global Coordination Protocol became active. Day 25 marked exponential threshold breach. Current diameter measured 2,634.7 kilometers. Pluto's mass had increased 11% in 25 days. At current acceleration rate, the dwarf planet would achieve sufficient mass to gravitationally influence Neptune's orbit within 6 months. New phenomenon documentation revealed radio telescopes detecting structured signals emanating from Plutonian surface. Signals followed mathematical progressions, with initial analysis suggesting intentional communication attempts. Signal patterns included prime number sequences, Fibonacci progressions, and previously unknown mathematical constants. Behavioral impact on observatory personnel showed concerning patterns through psychological evaluations. 67% of observation staff reported identical recurring dreams, involving vast underground spaces and sensation of something calling from below. 3 personnel requested immediate transfer from deep space monitoring duties. Public information crisis emerged as amateur astronomers began noticing discrepancies in published Plutonian data. Social media reports of Pluto looking bigger increased exponentially. Misinformation containment protocols activated immediately. The emergency decision point presented critical choices. Continued observation posed psychological risks to personnel, yet cessation of monitoring during critical expansion phase presented unknown dangers. Recommendation maintained observation protocols, while increasing personnel psychological support resources. The expansion continues without explanation. We do not know why this phenomenon occurs. We do not know when it will stop. We do not know what Pluto is becoming. The final audio log entry from Deep Space Observer Station Alpha 7 recorded, "Whatever's happening out there, it's not natural, and it's not stopping." This concludes current emergency communication. Next scheduled update in 24 hours. Classification level highest security. Distribution limited to emergency response team Alpha only. End transmission.